All right, welcome once again to HeroQuest fans. We're just got started just a minute late. Actually, technically, I did have the starting soon screen up, so we weren't late at all. So welcome everybody. It's a nice, relaxing evening. I did see some news in the world of HeroQuest. I guess people on Facebook knew this before I did, but Hispa Zargon, who has been a big help. He is over at Ye Olde Inn. Of course, you may know him from the last translation project, where he put together some updated versions of the Japanese quest pack. Well, not really a quest pack. It's the Japanese game system of HeroQuest, putting it in. He took the original documents and then he just inserted the English translations that fans had come up with, which was pretty cool. So making that version accessible then to the non-Japanese speaking world, and just seeing how unique and interesting it really is. So, but he had some pictures from Facebook. I have not been following. I'll confess, I haven't been following the HeroQuest stuff over on Facebook or Twitter, because I mean it's just too much for me. I mean, I feel like it'd have to be my full-time job monitoring all the stuff that goes on there. Not from the official sources, but just from rumors, fans talking. So, anyway, great reporting from him. But I just want to flip over to my browser real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this has to do with the Frozen Horror, which coincidentally we're playing tonight. I'm kind of waiting on some of our people here, some of our players, but we've got 3 spots open. Of course, I mean, we could try it with a solo hero, but once again, you'll see how incredibly difficult it is with just one person, even with our slightly modified rules and make it a little more fair. So let's see. Okay, so there's our Discord. Let me just expand this a little bit. And of course, you can see at the bottom of your screen the Discord if you want to join us. Let me just make sure that my mic is working correctly. The Discord if you want to join. Okay, so if you go to our Discord, which you can see the link there, and right underneath General, you'll see Voice Channels and Quest Talk, and you can see my little icon there. I'm talking right now. So if you want to talk with me, and you want to hear your voice on the stream, all you have to do is go there and just enable your microphone and unmute. I know we can't all have radio voices, but if you want to interact, this is a great way to do it, besides just typing in the chat. But yeah, welcome everybody. Let's just first acknowledge the people that we've got in our chat right now on Twitch, and we'll start talking about those updates, and then I'll get into the quest. So welcome to Zero Axe 2, long time lurker. We've got Alien Gathering, another TV viewer, Lurks, appropriately named, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Sound Alerts. And I want to apologize once again to Sound Alerts. I realized what was happening with the sounds that we were trying to set up for the channel. Apparently one of the steps in the setup process I neglected to do, which is that you have to copy and paste a link into your browser, which I did, and then it says, oh, I use Firefox. Firefox is not supported, so I've got to get, like, let's say Google Chrome just to activate a certain link. Then I can go back to using my old browser. So that's kind of an annoying little thing, but I didn't quite have time to do all that before the stream started. So maybe next time I'll get that done ahead of time so that we know the sound files are working. I mean, I could mess with it now, but I just don't want to as we stare into infinity. All right, so you should be able to see on your screen there. I know it's like, what are those guys eating at the HeroQuest restaurant? What am I looking at? What am I looking at here? Sorry for the bad impression there. So this is what Hispa Zargon sent me. So I guess this was some kind of fan event. So Hasbro Fan It. That's not really important though. So they're having HeroQuest for dinner, I guess. It's crunchy, chewy rubber plastic pieces, and it's in another language here, but you can see the tile sheets. Those are obviously the tile sheets for the Frozen Horror at the bottom here, and that's the female barbarian. It's clearly female barbarian character, and it's in red instead of blue this time. And different websites are saying different dates. So some of them are saying August, some are saying September, some of them are even saying July. I don't know what the real release date is until Avalon Hill actually officially confirms it. We don't know. Okay, so I guess this is Twitter. But yeah, you can see that this is the remake board at the top, and at the bottom, this is the tile sheet for the Frozen Horror. Again, looks very similar. Of course, the magic ice, they just look like little swirls. They don't say the word magic ice on them, which we talked about before. So we'd seen those pictures from the Swedish websites, which apparently were not final compared to this, because this looks, assuming this is a later version, there's a little card. It's very fuzzy, but you can see it says companion app. And it says Google Play. It looks like Apple App Store. I mean, that's no surprise. The companion app has been out for ages. So the fact that it's there makes me think that sooner or later the Frozen Horror Quest Pack expansion will be added to the companion app, which makes sense because Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord were eventually added. But I guess as far as I know, they haven't added Rogar's Hall, The Forsaken Tunnels of Zorcel, or New Beginnings. All those are free quests. None of those are added. But all the retail releases have been added. So I guess that's a good sign. Now that QR code, I don't know what that does. Does that download an update? Or maybe it just downloads the app, like if you don't have it. But just looking at the picture there, we see some differences. So the combat dice, we knew they were going to be blue. The extra combat dice inside the Frozen Horror remake box. But they look to be kind of transparent blue, which some of those pictures, they had it like a really exaggerated, like Photoshop transparent effect. But it looks like they really were going for like a transparent resin, almost casino dice look to them. Except probably without the razor sharp corners and the painted on pips. Okay, so in this picture, once again, we got those plastic candy, what I call those candy trays. Those annoying vacuum sealed things. But it looks like there is a little easier access to the card deck. So maybe it's meant to be reused. You can see, again, the combat dice look to be transparent. I don't know if the quality control is any better on the inscribed images on the dice, which are now going to be filled in with white paint instead of black. But of course we got the lighter blue movement dice, which we've seen before. Yeah, that Frozen Horror looks gigantic. Of course, because of the resolution, you can't see them very well. But one big change here from what we've seen before is the mercenaries. The men-at-arms are gray, which they were gray in the original from 1992, the one that very few people actually played, and most people just stare longingly at on over eBay with its absurd prices. So I was getting used to the idea of them being a dark blue color, which, is a canonical HeroQuest figure color if you want. I mean, the ogres were that color, and Mage of the Mirror, and the Wizards of Morcar were that color in that European pack. But gray is more boring. Gray just screams paint me. But I mean, you've got Chaos Warriors or Dread Warriors in this version, and the Chaos Warlock, which is now the Dread Sorcerer, and then of course the Gargoyle in gray. Them being gray in the Frozen Horror makes sense because some of them are good that you can hire and some of them are evil. The problem, of course, was if you hire a bunch of them, how do you tell which ones go with which hero or which ones are bad? So my suggestion for that would be to put tiles underneath them to indicate which belong to which. And I guess in a sense, you may have some tiles to do that with. You have the mystery tile that came with the game system, that has the Zargon skull on one side and the Mentor eye on the other. That could be one. Of course, that's just for one figure. Then you've got, let's see, what else do you have? Yeah, you've got the bone pile, I think, in Return of the Witch Lord. And then you've got the mummy statue in Keller's Keep, or maybe it's the other way around. But that's still only 3 tiles. So you could differentiate 3 different mercenaries as to like who they belong to. Because if you, let's say each of the heroes has a swordsman, like, well, how do you know which is which? Unless they stay like right next to the guy that's controlling them, because there's 12 of them. Which, judging by the prices in the original, it would cost 900 gold. You would have to be basically spending all your gold on mercenaries if you were going to buy them every single time, like the maximum number. But, those are the breaks, I guess. So, anyway, that was some interesting little clarifications. I mean, we're just waiting for Avalon Hill to say, okay, here's the release date, here's how much it's going to be, and confirm that it's going to be a retail release and not a limited edition thing. I had a whole rant planned about pre-orders. We're going to talk about how annoying it is that game companies have pre-orders. I'll just say that, I mean, after listening to a couple folks defend the idea of pre-orders, I was always against them because I thought the idea of a pre-order is that you're going to get the game, whatever it is. Usually it's a video game, but a board game, whatever, before everybody else on your block. But the fact is, you're only going to get it on the day of release. And sometimes, because of shortages, you're going to get it after release. And in fact, you might get it after other people do who just wander into the store and buy it. So I was like, okay, so the get it early thing is a silly reason to pre-order because it's not guaranteed. Then, if the supply runs out, like as it did with the Guardian Knights, it's silly to pre-order because it's not guaranteed that you're going to get one anyway. Somebody else is ahead of you in the queue and they're going to get it before you. Sorry. And they can cancel your pre-order and that's it. You get your money back, but that's it. What other people were saying is that, well, the good thing about a pre-order is that, let's say there's something you really want, but you just forget all about it. You pre-order it, you forget all about it, and then it just shows up one day and you're like, oh, cool. But to me, that's just an order. I'd rather wait until something comes out and I don't have to worry that, oh, it's a limited time exclusive, and I just order it. Or I just wander into the store one day and see it on the shelf and buy it. So, I don't know. That's my take on it. Some people prefer to do it the other way. They pre-order just all kinds of stuff, and they wait months, years, and then it just shows up one day and it's like, oh, cool. But to me, if it's not that important that it, shows up right away, like for me, when I place an order, I would be worried, or pre-order, I'd be worried, oh, is it going to get canceled? Am I going to get refunded? Is my card going to be charged? I'd rather just be like, okay, I know it's in stock. I know it's not a limited release. Place my order, and it'll be here within, a week. Unless I'm ordering it from China or something, then it's going to be like 2 months at the most. Or if it's something that's, some small fly-by-night company, it's like, oh, nope, never mind, they canceled it and refunded your stuff. But we don't expect that from Hasbro Avalon Hill. We expect quality products, and we expect it to be, reasonably on time, and them to reasonably communicate with us, because they're such a big company. And they've already apologized for the Guardian Knights debacle and saying that they're going to do better from here on. And, as things, things in the world aren't perfect, of course. But as we move out of the COVID situation for a lot of places, it should get easier to get stuff like this. But anyway, I've said it before, I'm going to wait until this Frozen Horror is officially announced as a retail product, and I'll just buy it with everybody else. I don't need a pre-order. I'm not going to get a press copy, that's for sure. They don't give out like early stuff, so I'm just going to buy it when everybody else buys it. And yes, of course, I would like to know what's in the book. I predict that there'll be no changes at all. It'll just be the same old game. But I hope, sincerely hope, that they do release an errata. I have a feeling they're not going to do anything until after it comes out and after people have played it. Then they'll start posting on Twitter in response to complaints. Oh yeah, here's how you get out of the Yeti hug. We forgot to put that in there, but that empty chest should have this in it. It'll all be this after the fact stuff. Now, if they're smart, they'll just print out a little one-page sheet of corrections, slip it into the boxes before they hit store shelves. That would be the best if they do that. And they can go online and tell people. And when it's in the companion app, they can have a little note saying, oh, by the way, try this. This makes it a lot easier if you play this way. A lot more fun. For the solo quests, better to have an experienced barbarian. Give him some more potions, give him some more armor, weapons, and of course the Yeti fix. But anyway, I feel like I've talked that subject to death. So, we've got our royalty-free music playing. We're going to stop talking about the Frozen Horror and play it a little bit here. We just check the Discord. Yep, so we are live on HeroQuest fans. Thanks for joining us. And like I said, once again, if you want to join us, if you are watching on Twitch, you can just head over to our Discord and click on, well, I'll just show you on screen right here. Okay, so click on Quest Talk, and you can just start talking with us live. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, this is not live, and it's 24 hours after the stream has ended. All right, so let's go ahead and, oh, got a message from Strange Bus. Let me just turn this off real quick. So yeah, I think we'll just go ahead and separate that out into two videos. So we'll have the little news update, and then we'll talk about the quest itself here. So I'm just going to quickly restart the stream. I'll see you in 1 minute. Thank you, everybody.